Hello, I'm back. This is episode 3. I'm recording these all in a row, so it's going real quick. I hope this is making sense. Okay, so in episode 3 of my PdWebParty tutorials, I want to show a little trick that I've used for loading sounds. Now, you'll notice so far that all of the PdWebParty things and tutorials I've shown before have all been synthesis, and that's because it's built in. It's really easy to make noises in PD using synthesis. But I actually prefer to use PD to control sounds and sound files. Now the problem is the standard way of using PD to generate sound files is you reference a sound file that's on a hard disk or anyway, a storage somewhere. And you can't really do that with PdWebParty as easily, as far as I understand, because you'd have to like load it from, I guess, a server somewhere. I haven't tried doing that, but it seems like it would be a pain, if it's possible at all. So what I've figured out is a trick that lets you play a sound. So that's just a little volume slider and a bang to play a sound. Now, how did I do that? Well, give you a peek behind the curtain. So here's how it works. In here, I've got two arrays. This is for loading stereo sound files, sound L and sound R. And what I've got is a little system that you can load a sound file in once, then you save your patch, and the sound file will be saved. These arrays will be saved in their current state, and they will become much bigger. You'll notice here that like this patch, suddenly this loads down in the next one, which does a similar technique, is much bigger. It's 1.4 megabytes as opposed to 2 kilobytes for my previous one. So, it's 500 times bigger. Did I do that math right? 500 times bigger. And that's because it's saving these sound files in the patch itself as a giant table, right? Or as two giant tables, one for the left channel and one for the right. The way I'm doing that is when I click this bang, I'll be able to choose a sound file. It'll open it up. It will figure out how long it is. It will also tell me what the sample rate is, which I can use if I need to. It'll tell me how long it is, and then it'll use that number to go and edit the properties of each of these arrays by telling it the name, how long it is, and then it will automatically check this save contents box, which normally gets cleared when you save a sound file. When you load a sound file using sound filer into an array in PD. So you don't really need to worry about this. I actually just asked a few people on the forums to figure out, on the PD forums to figure out how this worked. It's not really that well documented, but I did figure it out. Array dialog, sound, the name of the array, $1 is just the length of the sound, 3, 0. And what that does is once the sound is loaded into the array, it then automatically saves that array without you having to go in and check that box. Okay, so let's say I'm going to choose a sound file. I don't know. What's a good one? What's this one? Yeah. Ooh, it's a pretty good one. Ooh, let's do that. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so now it's saved in my patch, and I should just be able to play it. Great. Okay, now I've just pressed save. That means it's in the patch, and the size of the patch will have changed, right? So now it's only 416 kilobytes because it's a shorter sound. So that's all done, and I don't need to do it again. And when I load this patch into the web, it will now just play this, because these will be saved in there. And these numbers will be empty because what I'm doing is using the array size object over here to find out how long my array is, how big my array is. So when the patch opens, I find out, okay, how long is this? How long is this sound file? It's 49,630 samples long. Then I send that over here. So when I press play, it triggers that number. It generates a line ramp to go to, it sets the line ramp to 0, and then it tells it to go to 1 over that length of time in milliseconds, which I've calculated over here. So I've taken the sound length, divided it by 44.1. That might need to be different. In fact, it should be different in this case because this is a 48,000 kilohertz sample, but I don't care in this case. I'm calculating the sound length, and I'm calculating the loop frequency, which I'm not actually using in this patch. So maybe I'll get rid of it, actually, just for clarity's sake. There we go. So sound length in milliseconds, that goes to the number 1 over that number of milliseconds. Then I multiply it by the length in samples, and that plays each of my arrays, left and right, out a little volume controller for my volume, and that's my patch. So that's, for me, the most effective way I've found for playing a sound file in PdWebParty. So next we'll do the same thing, but have a little bit more fine-grained control over everything and have some pitch control and looping and all that fun stuff.